I think I've discovered the only thing I dislike about these Nanmu Studio dinosaurs. They're amazing, but there's only one tiny thing. Let's open them up, check them out, and of course do some toy photography. So I'm pretty excited to be doing both of these two dinosaur figures in one video, and both of these look great, but I think I've kind of discovered the one thing I don't like about Nanmu Studios, even though they create these beautiful freaking figures. If you saw the last video I did on the Nanmu Indominus Rex figures, they were just incredible. But the thing is, now that I'm opening more of them, I'm realizing they don't build their figures to be scaled with one another. Like, they're not gonna be the right sizes comparatively to each other. Like, this is the Velociraptor right here, and there's no way this Velociraptor is gonna be bigger than like the Indominus Rex, or this is the Indoraptor, which this would have to be a little bit bigger than this. Maybe I'm wrong, but they kind of just build the figures to whatever size works for their engineering, and they don't really think about or worry about them scaling with each other, which is a little disappointed. So when the T-Rex comes out, it's probably only gonna be like the same size as the Raptor, or when the Spinosaurus comes out, it's not gonna be hugely compared to the Raptor, which is unfortunate. But these guys are undeniably beautiful and just fantastically built action figures, which makes me think, oh well, who cares? I'll just end up taking pictures of them separately, and that's fine. But anyway, these two figures, we've got the Raptor Shadow Blade, which should be similar to the orange Velociraptor from like Jurassic Park 2. And then we've got probably the worst name in action figure history, Mass Production Ground Type. I don't know, is this like a mass outbreak of like Diglett or something, or some other type of ground type Pokemon? I don't understand. This is supposed to be like the Indoraptor from, I think it's the second Jurassic World, right? But there's some other stuff too involved. He's got like a backpack and stuff, which I don't know what's going on there. But that's gonna be pretty cool, and these are gonna be fantastic, fantastic action figures, I'm sure. If you're interested in picking these guys up, head to the link I've got in the description for KaukusToy.com. Kaukus, thanks for sending these over. They're such a wonderful website, and like I always say, they package these things up so incredibly well, and they get shipped to you way before you pre-order them on any other website. Like Big Bad Toy Store, yeah, I love them, but they're gonna ship stuff out like this like 3 months later than these would be shipped out from Kaukus. So I love that about them. Thank you, Kaukus, as always. And if you want them, just head to the link I've got in the description, as always. Let's open them up. I feel like most of the Nanmu Studios I've seen have pretty much all been like big predators, right? And which I kind of prefer anyway, but it does make me kind of curious about what other, like if they did, you know, any like Brachiosaurus or Triceratops or something cool like that. I'd love to see Nanmu's take on those, but man, they've got like just a regular alligator coming out, and I can't wait for that. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Tail Time with Tails on these two tailed dinosaurs. And you know, what better way to celebrate a tailed dinosaur with some let's just put a tail on. Last time they were pretty hard, I think, if I remember correctly. Here we go. This is Mr. Indoraptor. Oh, that was very nice. You probably couldn't hear that, but there was a little bit of a pop. It wasn't a snap, but it was a poof. And here we go with the Raptor as well. Oh, man, that was so nice, man. I know that those pops, you could not hear them on camera, but that felt pretty good. And I'm done already. I like and prefer when the tail time with tails is shorter. So, here we go. Good job, everybody. Okay, well, here they are, all tailed up and everything. And man, I really do understand the hype behind this brand. Like, these figures are just absolutely beautiful. They look and feel so good. The detail on this Velociraptor is actually kind of incredible. Like, I'm just looking at it, I'm just like, wow. And that face really looks like Jurassic Park. Like, that just makes me think of watching like that movie as a kid. It's not even trying to not be Jurassic Park, it really is. Just look at that, it's so beautiful. The eye looks so good. These guys versus those other ones I used, the Indominus Rex ones, I like how light these guys are. These guys feel easier to maneuver and stand up. Like, I'm not having any problems with that. Wow, even this one toe is articulated where they do all the stabbing with. Crazy. I wonder if I can get him to stand up in a 1 foot pose like that. Wow, all right. That was so nice and easy too. I love being able to balance on one foot with figures. And wow, they look so good. And the thing that is always going to impress me is the way these figures look inside of the mouth. They really do look like it's full of saliva and all that. It's almost as if they took the actual animatronic dinosaur from Jurassic Park and they turned it into a figure. Like they used that or something. It's crazy. One of the weird things about this figure specifically is it's got this little pack on here. He's got a little backpack on, which I think is kind of cute, but it's also really cool and different. And then he's also got like a cyborg eyeball on this face, which is, I think, a really cool addition just to make this figure a little more spiced up. But the thing is, like, all of the imagery for this, like if you look on the box here and on the back, you know, he doesn't have any of that stuff on. Like, he's not wearing the backpack at all. So I'm assuming that I should be able to take it off, but there's no directions or anything that, or sorry, there's no destructions that come with this figure. So I'm not really sure about what I'm supposed to be doing here. So I'm gonna try and take it off to see what happens. Clearly I must be able to. And I know I can take the head off because it has a switchable head. So let's pop the head off. And then I guess let's just try to squeeze this thing off. Okay, it's moving. I do wanna put it back on though. Maybe he's put his arms up. Okay. It's coming off. What a good boy he is. All right, I'm almost there. It's kind of getting caught on his little arm thingies. And there we go. If you try hard enough, you'll be able to pop this thingy off. Oh, but he's got little marks on him. Just on the one side. Does that come off? Yeah, there's little like paint pieces, bits from here, residue have like made it onto him. I don't know if that's gonna come off. That kind of stinks. It does come off. If there were directions that told me to do it a better way, I would have gone with that route, but it doesn't. So if you want to take it off, you can take it off. So let's get into articulation with this guy right here. So his mouth does move nicely. There we go. And his tongue does not move. I think that's just a trend in general with the Nanmu figures. His arms, actually, I think move really well. You can do the whole absolute cinema thing with him as well. His neck moves really nicely. You can move all, oh, well, that part of the neck comes off too. So that would have made it a lot easier with the backpack, but you got lots of movement with the neck. That might be the best part about it. There's a joint right here, but you can't really do much with it. It's just kind of there, but oh well. And his legs move just fine. There's a lot of movement with the ankles, so you can keep him standing when you need him to. And then the back of his tail, well, his whole tail, it's bendy, so you can get all that nice little movement with the tail. Wow, that's so good. Look at all that. That looks so great. And you can always tell if it's bendy if there's little holes in it. Like right here, there's 3 tiny little holes. There's like that. I don't know what that does or why that is the case, but anytime you see those little holes, it's gonna be a bendy wire thing. So articulation is pretty good with this guy. So the Raptor's articulation is gonna be just about the same from what I can tell. The neck is a little bit less just because, I don't know, yeah, there's a little bit less movement in the neck than on the Indoraptor. But the mouth moves open nicely, which looks so good. Those tiny little sharp teeth look fantastic. He's also got a lot of movement in the arms as well. Not quite as much actually. Okay, I think it's pretty clear the other one has better articulation, but you can still do this with it. Elbows move nicely as well. And he does have articulation here in this little, his toe, which I do remember him killing a lot of people with that toe. There's that. And then he's got the nice bendy tail, also looking real good. So both of these guys, I think you can get some pretty good looking poses for whatever dino needs you need. So I already covered most of the accessories. The only other things they come with is they both come with some different hands. So he's got some more flat hands, the Indoraptor, that maybe are for posing to be put on the ground, kind of. And then the Velociraptor comes with 2 more open kinds of hands instead of like the, I don't know, droopy kind of hands that are already on him. I like actually these open hands a lot. The Raptor doesn't come with an extra head or anything like he does, but he comes with an extra, like a stand, which is very handy. It seems a little taller actually, but if I'm being totally honest, I don't think that he needs it. He's so good as is. Like, I don't think I'm really gonna use this stand much at all. I'm glad it comes with it, but I'm probably not gonna use it. All right, so size of these figures I think is actually really gonna be something that's, I don't know, important here. So just when they're at kind of a relaxed kind of thing, they are about at 6 inches, or at least the Raptor is. He's a little bit over 5. And then the Indoraptor is just below 5. But as far as length goes, from tail to toe, it's about a foot, maybe a little over a foot for the Raptor. And then for the Indoraptor, ground type Pokemon, is about 11 inches. So they're pretty big still, you know, but it's interesting because they don't scale. Here's a comparison to the other Nanmu Studio figures I have. So this is the only one I've got. This is the Indominus Rex, but I think it was called like something mother, I don't know. Sister, brother, I don't know. It's a lot bigger, but the Velociraptor should be like a lot smaller, and the Indoraptor should be a little bigger. You know, it's just like, it's really weird, but who cares? If that mattered so much to so many people, these figures probably wouldn't exist as they do, but I guess that's cool. So here's a quick comparison to the Allosaurus Hammond collection. So this is the Mattel Hammond collection, and then this right here is our Nanmu Studio. They are always gonna be a little smaller, or maybe not always, but I feel like if this were scaling correctly, they'd be a little closer to the same size. I know the Allosaurus would still be bigger, but he'd be like a little bit bigger. So it still looks a little silly compared. This is gonna be a pretty fun comparison here. This is the Hammond collection Mattel Velociraptor, which is essentially the same exact thing as this dinosaur here, but it's just 15 bucks, you know, and it's actually officially licensed by Jurassic Park, whatever. Which one's better? Clearly this one's better. It's not even close. It's so obvious. This one's incredible, but this one's also like quadruple or more the price. It seems to be worth it to me because you're getting a whole lot more with this. Even though this one's cool, if you wanted to get one, I think you'd be very happy with just Hammond collection. But if you really want a good looking one that's really gonna make you satisfied, I think it's worth spending the extra money on this. Or get both. I don't know. I think they're both really cool figures. What do you think we should give these two dinos, a W or an L? Well, I think they're both pretty cool. The only real problem I had was with taking taking the backpack off Venom. Did you have any opinions you wanted to share, or just wanted to show up? That was kind of an issue because it, you know, gave him all that residue is still on there, which I think looks actually pretty bad. But I don't think it's gonna take away from me giving them a W. I think they're still a big dub. You know, they're awesome. They're freaking cool. But I like this figure way more than I like this figure. That's a lot of reasons. I like this one because I'm nostalgic. I don't really like this dinosaur that much in general. Like, I thought the movie was okay, but I thought he was kind of weird and okay design. I like the way he moves better. Actually, his articulation's good. But I like the way he stands and poses. He just looks so good. It's such an iconic looking dinosaur. I would love to know what you think. Do you have either of these guys? Let me know. Do you think they're cool? Do you think it's a W, an L? Let me know what you think. So I gotta do some toy photography, and you know what? It's weird because I really like him. I'm kind of feeling inspired to photograph him, but at the same time, I'm like, I like his backpack and his eyeball. Maybe I'll do something with that. Maybe I'll put this back on him and I'll do something. I don't know. Either way, let's take a shot. I'm definitely going to Peebles Island though, for sure. So I'm here back at my favorite spot in Cohoes, New York. I'm at Peebles Island State Park, and I've got a pretty cool shot. It's a little different than my usual dinosaur shots, so just be aware. So here on this little mossy rock, I've got my dinosaur. I've got the Indoraptor, and he's got his backpack on and his eyeball, but he's traveling with Mando and Grogu. I don't know, these two are my favorite people ever, Mando and Grogu, so I thought this was a great opportunity. Plus, I don't know, the little backpack, you know, Grogu sitting on there, it kind of works, right? It kind of actually works. So this is actually the Mafex Mandalorian Chrome version, my favorite figure ever. And then this is actually an SH Figuarts Grogu. So there's a mixture of all kinds of stuff going on. And they're kind of just traveling. He's got the Beskar spear. And I've got kind of a cool looking view in camera going on like this, right? That looks pretty cool, and they're all fitting quite nicely in camera. So it's a little bit of a cloudy day, so I can't really take advantage of the sunlight. That's why I'm in this specific area. So I did place 2 of my Lume Cube panels here to try and just bring some light on the sides here. And that's my entire shot. I don't have anything else crazy I'm gonna do. Like, that's it. This is it. My settings are 320 for shutter speed. It doesn't need to be fast or anything like that. F-stop's at 5.0. I did turn it up a little bit so I could get a little more in focus. I want to make sure everybody's there. I want Mando, Grogu, and the dinosaur all perfectly in focus. And my ISO's at 400, as it always is. So because of the clouds and everything, the sky is pretty white. It's kind of hard to get anything but that with toy photography, especially when it's cloudy. So I'm going to do a little bit of work in Photoshop, maybe turn it into a bluer sky. We'll see. So I'm going to do a couple little finishing touches, make sure everything's perfect, and take the photo. That's it. Alrighty, what do you say? Let's do some post-photo breaking down. Anyway, this is the final product, and I do think it looks kind of cool. It just kind of feels like an adventure. Like I'm watching like some kind of whimsical 80s adventure movie. I don't know, and I'm pretty happy with it. The dinosaur looks good, everything looks really good. And one thing that I will typically feel pretty insecure about when I'm shooting outside is the really white sky. And I usually kind of like to heavily rely on the strong sunlight and that kind of thing. And then when I don't have that strong sunlight, you know, I got boring clouds in the sky, and it just feels like it could be boring. You know, I'm learning that it doesn't have to be that way, because this is not boring. This is one of the original shots. So I did a few of them. I did one too where I was holding the Loom Cube. The original and the edited one are pretty different, right? So one big thing, if you look at the ground, is I got rid of all the grass, the little bits of grass here. Like, I'm obsessed with moss. I love moss so much, so I really wanted to just have that beautiful moss. So I got rid of everything, and I think it really adds to it. I think it looks really good. Obviously, the sky is very different. You know, using the sky replacement tool in Photoshop was very helpful. You know, it's really fun. I love editing Mando because he's so shiny, and I love making him look even more shiny. You know, it's beautiful. Other thing I did too is if you look at Grogu, he's a little crooked, so I actually went into this one and I rotated him a little bit and made him fit a little better on the dino's back. Let me know what you think. Is it weird having the dinosaur with the Mandalorian and Grogu? I don't know, maybe, but let me know what you think, of course, and let's just run the end of the video. So what do you think about how Nanmu scales their figures and that they don't really match at all? Is that like a big bummer for you, or does it not really matter? I think it's kind of a bummer, but they're still wonderful figures either way. But if you did enjoy the video, please consider liking it and subscribing to the channel. This photo, as always, is going to be posted up onto Instagram and TikTok and Facebook. If you want to follow my work on those platforms also, it's all linked in the video description below. And as always, thank you for getting all the way to the end of the video and watching it at all. And I hope to see you in the next one.